Today we have our wonderful guest. We're actually going to hype him up a little bit. Don't show him yet.
Served in Argentina. Plays the piano and guitar.
Beautifully.
His grandpa played football here. Sister plays rugby here.
Dog.
Recruited by Stanford, Air Force, Cornell, Brown, Portland, and a lot more. Give it up for Trip. Give it up for Trip.
Townsend Tripple, man.
Come on now.
Townsend Tripple.
So how did Trip come about?
Townsend Tripple. Townsend's kind of hard to say on the court, and so my high school coach always called me Tripple, and I hated it. My teammates, AAU, it kind of just shortened down to Trip. Now I be tripping all the time.
Welcome back to Life Beyond the Three, provided by the Center Street Media. I'm Trevin.
I'm Trey, the co-host, and today we have our wonderful guest. We're actually going to hype him up a little bit. Don't show him yet. Trevin, do you want to do the introduction?
Yeah, here we go. All right, stats about this man. All right.
Stats.
Served in Argentina. Plays the piano and guitar.
Beautifully.
His grandpa played football here. Sister plays rugby here.
Dog.
All right, so before college, he went to Rocky Mountain High School. Averaged 15 points, 6 rebounds,
The big 1-5.
2.1 assists for a record of 25-2.
Wow.
Wow. So you were recruited by Stanford, Air Force, Cornell, Brown, Portland, and a lot more. And we got you here. Give it up for Trip. Give it up for Trip.
Townsend Tripple, man.
Come on now.
Townsend Tripple.
Trip. Trip, how is it, man? How are you?
Good, man. Good to be here with my two boys.
Yeah.
So what? How did Trip come about? So Trip's the nickname. We got
Yep.
Townsend Triple.
So Townsend Tripple. Townsend's kind of hard to say on the court, and so my high school coach always called me Tripple, and I hated it. And it was just my teammates, AAU. It kind of just shortened down to Trip. And so yeah, now I be tripping all the time.
It's funny how like the natural nicknames that just come about.
Right.
But, like one day a coach, like the best was Coach J.O. with Trev.
Oh my
We're
gosh.
sitting there, he's like, why does everyone call you Trev? Why does everyone call you like Vinny? We're gonna call you Vinny. Like,
nickname is
it's just
Vinny
so
now.
random, and then he just calls you Vinny for the rest of the year.
He couldn't pronounce Trey and Trev.
Oh yeah, no, he'd
It was,
always
it
mix
was
it up.
like super hard for him. So now I'm Vinny.
Too similar.
I don't know how Trevin and Vinny came about.
That's just
but
evidence.
Yeah,
of the
Vinny, it
confusion.
took me a second to get it. He called you Vinny, and I was like, I don't know where he got that from. But
Yeah,
hey,
no,
it
but
works.
now
It
it
works.
makes a little
It
bit of
works.
sense.
It works.
Only a little bit.
Yeah.
So you were born in Meridian.
I actually was not. That's
Oh
a fun
my gosh,
fact.
look at you.
Yeah, I was born in Florida.
Wow. What part?
Yeah, so it's called Eglin Air Force Base. It's kind of on the Panhandle.
Yeah, military boy.
Yeah, so military, I was all over the place. So Florida, I'm not a Florida man. I'm not crazy, but
The news articles always kill me. It's like Florida man found doing
right?
this.
Yeah,
on
he's
the
got
block.
his army of turtles or something.
Yeah.
No, that's not me. That's not
That's
me.
not true. But
Nah,
I
and then-
wouldn't be surprised. Just kidding. I would.
I mean, the beta fish didn't last long.
Oh yeah, we'll tell the
Yeah.
beta fish story.
Wow.
Actually, no, let's tell the beta
Let's
fish
do it
story
right now.
Let's
Get
air
out
it
the
out.
way.
Let's get all the elephant in the room going.
So we had a white elephant gift for all the players, and I had this amazing person come up to me, Tatum's sister, Reese. She said, hey, you should get your white elephant gift. It should be a fish. So we got a beta fish. And I was so pumped that Trip was the one that pulled the beta
We were
fish.
just like he'd take
I was
care.
like, this is the person. He's not going to let it die. And it
then-
lasted how many days?
It probably lasted 2 days.
2 days.
Hey, all right,
Just-
I want to give my side of the
just
story
killed
though.
it.
So
Murder.
I get the fish 2 days before we go on our big vacation, the 4-day vacation we had for Christmas, right? But the day before I leave, I'm like, I need to treat this fish right. So I go to the pet store. I get some nice gourmet food. I get him a heater. I get him a little leaf hammock. I treated him nice. He dies on me the next day. So I did my part. And my roommate was traumatized when he woke up and the fish was dead. So
Oh, yeah, you
Did your
tell-
roommate kill it?
no, he said he
He
was
felt
feeding it.
so bad.
But my roommate left me a note saying like, "Hey, I understand if you don't like me anymore. Your fish died." And I was like, "Nah, it's not that deep, bro. It's okay.
It is that
It'll be
deep,
all right." I mean, rest in peace, Mav. Yeah, for real.
The note that he left reminds me of me and my sister when we were younger. Like we'd get like into some argument or whatever, and then like she'd apologize or I'd apologize. We'd write like a letter and leave it outside their door. And it's like, I understand, I'm the worst brother ever. If you never want to talk to me again, and then we'd leave like our second favorite stuffed animal because you want to leave your first one out there. You're not crazy, but you just give him like a peace offering.
Yeah.
So he didn't give you a peace offering. He just said, "Man,
Nah,
I just
he
understand."
offered to buy me another fish, but I said it's not gonna have the same sentiment, you know.
Yeah.
And
so.
you honestly, I don't want to. If I don't know about you, but pulling the fish, it's like, dang, now I have to take care of a fish for like a year.
Whoa.
It was all right.
It was him and his
guy.
girl's first time being a parent
Not a
together.
pet
Big
guy.
step.
Big step.
Big
step
step.
in the relationship.
Not bad.
You wouldn't
I
know.
should be a little more.
Whoa. All right,
I'll stay. This is so mean.
all right, let's talk about just your life being like your family's being in the military, you moving around. Like, talk about kind of how that had on your life, the impact it did in you and your families.
Yeah, so I moved around a bunch as a kid. North Carolina was kind of the main central hub. We'd go move somewhere for a few years and then go back to North Carolina. We moved up to Virginia for a few years, back to North Carolina, and then finally we ended up in Idaho. But it was kind of like, for me at least, my sisters have, obviously different opinions, but for me it lined up almost perfectly. So we moved kind of right at the beginning of elementary school. I got probably to second grade, then we moved again. And then I moved right at sixth grade, so kind of like right at the beginning of middle school.
That's tough.
And so I was in a new middle school, and then right before I was going into high school, we moved again. So like I pretty much had like a solid few years in each place to kind of just get through like elementary school and then get through like middle school, and then high school was all in Idaho. My older sister though, she went to like 3 different high schools. Little sister, she was kind of like a bunch of different elementary schools, and then Idaho, she was there for all of middle and high school. But it was kind of crazy because I was on a bunch of different sports teams. I played a bunch of different sports growing up, and so it was always different. Things were changing.
And was this because of your dad, right?
Yeah, so my dad, he was a pilot, and so he flew jets. So his jet was mainly like one of the big bases for his jet, specifically an F-15E, was in North Carolina. And so the other bases were like one Mountain Home in Idaho, and so that's why we were there for a little bit. And then another one was out in England. We never got to go there, sadly.
You said that'd be crazy.
But he did a little stint for about 3 years up in Virginia at the Pentagon. And then he was deployed for a year when I was about 12. So he was in the Middle East in Kuwait. He was like training up the military out there.
That's insane.
So, it was kind of cool stuff. He loved it, and then he got out, and now he's just chilling. He's just vibing. So
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that your dad actually got deployed. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So when I was growing up, he got deployed a few other times, like when I was really, really young. So he went to like Korea, Guam, East for a couple months. And so I remember one summer, it's like one of my first memories was a summer at my grandparents' house because my dad was deployed. So we were in Colorado for the summer because he was out in Korea or Guam. But
was that hard on you and like the family with him being gone and stuff?
It was hard when I was a little bit older. So when I was about 12, when he was in Kuwait for that year, it was definitely harder because it was kind of like, I was kind of making that transition into like not being a man, but like I became kind of the man of the house for a little bit. So that was tough. But one thing I always appreciated is even though he was in the military, he was always my sports coach. So like I grew up and he was like coach for almost every single one of my basketball teams until high school.
That's cool.
And then he was the coach for the football team when I was in middle school. And so he was always like hands-on in my development with sports. And then we did a bunch of projects around the house too. Like we built our house in North Carolina. And so he was always there after work, just working together.
That is crazy.
And we did a lot together. So, even though he was gone for big kind of like amounts of time, he still found a way to spend a lot of time with us when he was home. So
That's big time, bro.
That's cool. Does he have the same mustache as you?
No, he doesn't. It would come out occasionally. I think in the military they call it Mustache March, and then occasionally he'd do like No Shave November. But I think I own the mustache. I think I got the best one in the family. I trimmed it up, so it's coming back. But hey,
I have a follow-up question. How many times did your family see Top Gun Maverick?
So my dad actually bought a whole new sound system for our house to watch the movie, so you get that full surround sound feel. But I think he saw it in the theaters like 3-4 times. It was the first movie I saw when I came home from my mission, and I watched it like since being home probably 5-6 times. I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
So
I picture you perfectly fitting in that movie.
Doing this? You know, you remember the dance with
No,
Miles Teller?
what are you talking about?
If you see Top Gun,
No, be patient. We're friends.
You
We're
see Top
friends.
Gun.
Let's try to figure it out together.
All right.
What are you talking about?
the beach scene.
Yeah.
Miles Teller's dancing.
Oh, and it's like okay.
Hey, just the same move.
I was just
Same move.
confused. I
No,
was
it's good.
confused.
Well, we're good
And
now.
I apologize. I'm glad we could constructively come to an agreement
We
in this
came back to
conversation.
it.
But now let's get back to Townsend Triple.
Hey, you guys being friends that's awesome, man. Just
It's
watching that happen was amazing.
Same dance moves.
Same dance moves,
Same
just
dance
different
moves.
lines, and then you guys connected, and I was like, wow.
Spiritual to see something like that.
So you saw Top Gun right when you got back from your mission.
Yep.
You served in Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
How was it when? Did you go during COVID a little bit?
So yeah, I was reassigned to Arizona for like 6 months.
Okay.
So I was on the back half of COVID, and so then Argentina opened up, and I got to go out. So I served there for probably like 16, 17 months.
And we have a special bond because what kind of language is the Argentinian
Hablamos
people?
español. See?
Sí, señor. Sí, señor.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
There you
habla
go.
fluency.
Trey knows.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
But that's super cool. I know faith is super important for you. Something also cool that happened in Argentina during your time was the World Cup. So
Yeah.
first question is,
Yeah.
did you know who Messi was before you went out there?
Oh, okay. So our academic
I
advisor,
heard some stories that you did.
This is crazy.
our academic advisor Jess, she'll call me out. Who I didn't know who Messi was. I had an idea of who he was. I don't follow soccer that much, mainly because I'm a basketball, football kind of guy. But I learned quickly who Messi was.
That's fair.
And they had just won like the Copa America, and so they were like on a high. The country was like, "Hey, we're good." And then the World Cup happened the last like 6 months of my mission, and that was insane.
Yeah, walk us through what that was like.
So my mission president was kind of new, and he gave us permission to watch all the Argentine games.
That is so cool.
That's so tough.
Shout out to your mission president.
Yeah, shout out to President Zani. After the fact, he found out that no other mission was allowed to do that, so we were lucky. But we pretty much would just go to members' houses or even like the church, and we'd just put it on a huge projector and watch the games. And so there was a couple times I like had some face paint on. I had this Argentine do-rag that was dope. And then you have all
We
the
gotta drop the
noisemakers.
picture.
You got that, bro? I might need that, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
gonna
get you
that
that.
Argentine
We'll
do-rag, bro.
But you know, we came out. Argentina came out and lost to Saudi Arabia in the first game, and everyone was like, "It's over. We suck." Like we were so high, and then we hit like a huge low, and we're like, "It's over." And then
We know that.
we started winning games, and I think the biggest game for me was watching when we played Netherlands. It was a super close game. The Netherlands had a guy come out and hit like 2-3 goals in extra like minutes. It was insane. So we're all losing our minds. We pulled that one out, and then we're playing Paris, or I guess we're playing France.
I like how you keep saying we. It's just
Yeah, it's there, man.
through and through, baby.
For real. And we actually were not allowed to watch the final game because it was on a Sunday, and our mission president, I think, looking back, he was like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't let him watch all the games."
He's probably hoping they lost earlier.
Yeah, right. So he said, "Hey, we're not going to watch the games. I encourage you guys to do the same." Which we didn't watch it, but we heard everything because like every single house in Argentina is watching the game. So we're like, my companion's like listening through the wall of our house, and I'm trying to like listen across the street, and the game's going, and then it gets like kind of quiet, and then you just hear like people cheering, booing, and we found out they got to penalties, and so we're like, oh no, like what's gonna happen? And then it goes like dead quiet, and we're like, oh, like what happened? Then the streets just fill up, cars just honking, everyone going to the plaza, just going insane.
That sounds so
Crazy,
fun.
bro.
So it was a cool moment. We weren't able to teach for like the next 2 days or so.
Everybody just
It
hammered,
was
just
fun.
living life.
It was cool. So that's something I'll always remember was super fun. And I mean, yeah, it was a special experience. The whole mission in general was, but soccer was a huge part of their lives, and I guess I got a little piece of that, so that's cool.
But that's such like a cool part about sports where it just like brings people together. Because like when you look out in the streets, those collection of people probably never be together. But some random game that kids used to play in a backyard just became so big. But like, what's like a moment like that in your career? Like obviously winning the World Cup's 1 in a million.
Right.
But like, what's kind of like your moment in high school and any other like setting that you remember that was just like, oh, this is amazing. Just felt that energy.
Yeah. there's like two moments I have. One in high school and one actually from last year, our season. In high school, we were coming here to Utah, and we were playing like the Western Classic or something, and it was at Orem High, and we were playing some good teams. I think we started out playing Wasatch Academy B team, and so I had some good dudes on that team. We ended up winning. Went on to play the reigning state champ. I think it was Lone Peak at the time, and it was a tough game. We beat them, so then we got to play Wasatch Academy A team, and that had some of the guys who are on our team now. Like Richie was on the team back in the day. Caleb Lohner was on the team.
Was Foos there?
Foos, I think, was there as well. Yeah. And so it's just kind of crazy to see like these guys that I'm playing with now. We played forever ago.
Yeah.
And they're like top of the country. We're just some kind of no-name kids. We're good in Idaho, but like outside Idaho, we're just nobody really knew us. And we took them to double overtime.
Jeez.
And I had 30.
Wait, say it again.
I had 30.
30 ball.
Another one of my teammates was going off. He had 30-something, and we ended up losing by 2. Dang. I fouled out of the game. Second overtime, I was pissed.
It's hard to stay in those games once you get to those second and third overtimes.
But that was a super cool experience. Like, our team, we were just like, wow, we're actually like pretty good when we play together. So that was super special. Again, playing with some of my teammates now, like against them, that was kind of cool looking back. And then last year when we played Kansas, I just remember being in the locker room, and our stats guy, Keegan, he had the pregame speech, and he was like, he's known to be a pretty nonchalant guy, just like pretty chill, quiet.
Computer guy.
Yeah, computer guy. He's got a computer. He's a whiz. And he just got fired up and snaps his computer over his knee. He goes, "We're going to win this game. Like, we're going to go crazy." And that fired us up. At least it fired me up.
We were all split a laptop in half.
Yeah.
Even though it was like from like the 90s, the laptop.
Sure. I hadn't seen one of those before, but yeah, like he still broke it.
I was like, I know it's not his main laptop, but that was cool.
That was cool. And then, I mean, I didn't play a big role in it on the court, but just the energy that we were able to bring and the feat we were able to accomplish by beating that Kansas team was insane.
Yeah.
And so afterwards, I remember watching. I can't remember the name. It's like BYU produces it. Is it Off the Cut or something like that?
The cut thing, yeah.
The cut.
Yeah.
The cut was crazy.
And that like almost made me emotional watching it. I'm just like, dude, the like energy and just the passion that we played with, it was just super cool.
It's funny in those videos, like you watch them, like we were there. But like you watch those videos, you're like, man, it's so inspirational. Like, it's just weird.
Right?
I don't know. No, sports are amazing with that.
Do you remember what Coach Pope said right before we went out?
I remember he started yelling at the ref, and I had to put my hand in front of his face so he didn't get attacked.
But at the Jumbotron, he goes, "Hey guys, there's one thing that we should all know. We have a bigger Jumbotron than they do." And he goes, "Bring it in." It's so funny.
That was funny.
But yeah, that game was insane.
Yeah. Wild.
Crazy.
But we kind of want to talk just about walk-ons.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimate respect to walk-ons. Like in my book,
Ultimate respect.
it literally just people don't understand what you all do for the program, and they just don't know unless they've been in your shoes, which they'll never be in your shoes. But other people who have been walk-ons, they understand. One of the biggest moments for you, I want you to talk about this a little bit, but Texas Tech on the road. Walk us, like, talk us through that.
I was like, that's my core memory.
Talk us through that, because I mean, like, you work your butt off. You do everything that everyone else does, and some. What's like, I don't know, like just living, like just those tiny little moments that you get. Like, I just wanted you to talk a little bit about that experience.
Yeah. So Coach Pope, I remember before the game or before a couple of games, he'd be like, "Hey, like, be ready. We might need you, especially with like injuries and whatnot." He's like, "Hey, just like be locked in, be ready to go." And I don't think he said it that game. And so I'm in my mind, I'm just like, okay, like I'm here to bring the energy for the team. I'll do whatever they need me to do. Again, mentality of a walk-on. You're there to cheer on your team and to just fight for them. And if you're called on to go out there and perform, like, hey, by all means, you prepared, right? So he calls me in the first half, and I'm like, oh shoot! And so like the adrenaline just, it's like hitting an EpiPen or something, just pure adrenaline.
We're all like,
yeah. So I'm like, like I'm starting to shake. I'm just like, okay, what do I got to do? I go out there, and I remember like there was so much going on. I think it was like defense, and I'm trying to figure out who I'm guarding. I'm just getting lost, and just like I'm hardwired to just go crazy. and we get the rebound, and I just sprint as fast as I can to the corner. I think Jackson, gets by a guy, and he's going, and he sees me in the corner. He passed it to me, and I'm like, holy crap. The ball's in my hand. Like, this is like second play.
At a Big 12 game.
Right? And Texas Tech, respect to them, great team. And I think we were up at the time, so I'm like, I'm going to shoot it. And so I shot it, and
wet ball.
It went in, and I was like, to be honest, I was expecting the crowd to go crazy. Because I'm like, holy crap, I just did that, dude. Yeah. But it's Texas Tech, so they're like, oh, man, like, what is he doing? And I heard actually one of the coaches on the other team was like yelling like, what's the scout on this kid? And I'm like, granted, they're not going to have a scout on me because I hadn't played more than probably 30 seconds in a game before then. And it was just pure adrenaline. I think a timeout got called soon after that. I go back out, and one of the next plays, I just get hit like I'm on defense. And I get hit right in the chest, and just the wind knocked out of me. And so I'm like gasping for air, just like, I gotta do this, man. Like I can't fall over. Like I gotta keep going. But it was just pure adrenaline. I sat on the bench after, like I couldn't feel my legs. When I say like fight or flight, that was a fight moment. Like awesome. Everything just out the window. Just do what I do, I guess. And it was cool to hit a three. We ended up losing, so it was tough.
Pop Isaacs at second half just gave us a little 30 ball for us.
But yeah, the guys afterwards, like after we kind of digested that loss, they were like, "Hey, like you did good." So I was like, "Yes, thank you."
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool.
No, you killed it. That was so cool.
So that definitely was a core memory. And I think I tried to shoot a three later in the game, but I just had nothing in me. Like the tank was empty, and I hit it front rim, and I was like, "All right, we're done." 1 for 2. That's good. 50%. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah.
It's Trevenel numbers.
But hey, Trevenel be shooting 50%. And he's got like 100 attempts.
That's crazy.
That's respect.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite memory, bro. I think I was the next the wing guy. Mm-hmm. And I remember you caught it. You shot it. I was like, and it went in. I remember like slapping you. I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
But that was insane. Way to just come in. I want you to kind of talk more about like what it takes kind of to be a walk-on. Like I know it's super hard. I know school is hard. And it's not all glamorous. So
yeah,
kind of just talk about your experience so far with that.
I'll be one to say I think the walk-on is like a dying art almost, just because of NIL and with the roster changes and all these house settlements and so I'll be interested to see how it goes in the future. But it's a grind. It's no joke. Like I think I've gotten past it. I was never one about like all this glory and all the fame. I was just like, play the game and the game will respect you. And so being a walk-on, it takes a mentality of I'm going to put in that hard work and then some, and I might not get that recognition, but that's okay because I signed up for it. And I'm here to play a game I love with the guys that I love doing it with. And so like that's your reward. It's not like, oh, I'm out there getting 20, 30 minutes a game. It's, hey, I'm part of something bigger than me and I'm contributing to it. And that, in my eyes, is my like reward and the blessing that I have. So the 2 years I've been here, we're going on a third. We've been able to go to the national championship, or I guess the tournament.
I was like,
not the national championship, national championship tournament, NCAA tournament, whatever. And it's been cool to be like, I was a part of that. And granted, I might not be contributing a lot out on the floor, but I'm on the floor during practice, and I'm putting in the work in the weight room, and I'm kind of going through it physically like all the other dudes. Granted, at school, yeah, it's hard. I guess back in the day, it was a scholarship, and then you were walk-on, so you're like paying your way for school. Now, again, with NIL, a little different, but no, I definitely think it takes kind of like a different mindset of, hey, I might not get that glory, but that's okay because I love everyone around me, and I want to help them shine and do their best. So that's how I've kind of approached the game. And would I love to be playing more and hit some more threes like Texas Tech? Oh, yeah. But I know I'm helping the team get better. So,
dude, I love that. That's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
I think that's just embodies just who you are as a person and your character. Like, no matter what, like, for me, I respect the crap out of you. I think you're one of the hardest dudes, both in the weight room, on the court, in the classroom. Like, you're just one of those guys that it takes what it takes, and I think you have what it takes. So again, I appreciate all you do for us.
100%.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we had that like team meeting today. I thought it was really big. We talked a lot about like do it for your brothers. Just that concept in general is like what a team's all about. I mean, you talked about being in the weight room, and it's like you look over and see someone else lifting, and there's like 15 other people in the weight room lifting. It's like, okay, I can lift. Yeah. And it's like you see other people working their butt off in practice. Like, okay, I can do this. We go to Coach Pope's house, and you do a belly flop off the diving thing. And it's just like that belly flop. We'll put the clip up here if we can find it. But the belly flop was absolutely phenomenal. But there's so many stuff like that where like that's what the sport's all about. Where it's like those little moments, those little things of us having joy on the road, those little moments of us going through something hard in practice, like that's really what the sport's all about, and that's what like we'll look back on and remember. Like one of my favorite clips is I can't remember who it was, but it was some senior. They asked him, like, what are you gonna miss most? And he's like, going out and getting food. And it's like you don't like people don't understand that, but if you understand it, you do, because like there's so many moments that we have together where I know in like 5 years, I'm just going to be sitting there just crying. Like, man, I just wish me and Trip could be in the weight room, absolutely feeling how destroyed our bodies are and just being like, man, this sucks right now. But it's fun. It's fun, man.
Yeah. It is a grind. I love the family aspect of it. And I feel like, especially at BYU, you get that in the team as well as just the fans. And so I love kind of just how we're focused on each other as brothers and teammates. And then, you take a step out and you look at it, and it's just a great community that you're part of. So the family is what I'm probably going to miss the most when this chapter of my life closes in basketball. I have time to hang up the shoes. But, hey, it's not time yet.
It's not time yet. It's not time yet, man. We got a season to finish.
We got 15, 20 games left.
That's a lot of games.
That is a lot of
games. We got a lot of time.
We got a lot of
but we only have one game. And then one game the next game.
All right, Trip. Talk more about your character. Your internship. It's kind of a big deal. Let's talk about you have like NASA experience, your SpaceX experience. Let's hear about your internship and kind of your experiences with those.
So in high school, I was able to do a NASA camp, and I went to NASA Ames in California, and we planned a mock manned mission to Mars. And so I was a part of the transportation crew and finding out what kind of rocket we were going to use, how we were going to do it, how we were going to get to Mars, and how we were going to get back. So that was super fun. I love space. I actually have the Saturn V rocket, Lego rocket in my room. I have the space station. That's a passion of mine. I applied for a SpaceX internship these past few months. Didn't get it, but the fact that I have some connections there now is super cool and super promising going forward.
Let's go.
So I'm excited, but yeah, one day maybe I'll be up in space, or I'll have helped somebody else get to space. So that's the goal. I think it's super cool.
That's the greatest goal ever. I love that.
It's super cool. So I don't know when we're gonna get to Mars, but I've been watching Interstellar, The Martian.
I was like Interstellar, Top Gun. Which one do you pick?
Probably for pure action, I'm going Top Gun. Because there's more going on.
Fighting scenes,
all that. All of the story, but just the science and the space behind Interstellar, it's probably my favorite.
Beautiful.
And the soundtrack,
have to watch that.
Where does The Martian rank?
The Martian, okay, I actually watched The Martian because I forgot Matt Damon is in Interstellar. Yeah. And so when I saw that, I was like, oh, shoot, I need to watch The Martian again.
He's bad.
Yeah, we don't like him.
Selfish.
Yeah. But I'd say The Martian's up there. It's probably a solid 8.5, 9.
Yeah, I love that.
It's a good movie, and just the concept alone. Yeah. Getting lost and getting left on Mars.
Okay, give us planned space mission. You could do whatever you want. Where are you going?
Honestly, I'd probably just try to go to the moon. I want to call me a conspiracy theorist, but
we don't know.
We haven't been back in a while with some guys, so let me get up there. Let me see if it actually happens. I have faith that it did.
We'll
but it's
see the footprints. We'll see the flag.
Right. So send me to the moon. It's not too far away. Less can go wrong. I mean, it's still space. It's still kind of far away, but it's closer than Mars. So
I like that. All right, to round it all out, we're doing a quick little draft, okay?
Uh-oh.
I want you to draft your top 3 celebrities with the best mustaches.
Wow. I don't even know if I
Just
know
top
enough.
three,
I think
bro.
the celebrity you can pick is the picture where they edited your mustache on your eyebrows and your eyebrows on your
Yeah,
mustache.
shout out. What is it? Depressed BYU fan.
Depressed BYU fan. We'll put that
he's
image
got
up
the
there.
picture. Yeah.
But oh my, that is so funny.
Can we go like fictional characters?
Sure, whatever.
All right, Ted Lasso.
Love it.
Oh, that's
Love
a great
it.
one.
Yep.
Are you putting him at one or is this three?
I'm just gonna get a group with her real
Spitball
quick.
and then figure it out later, yeah,
the
like-
Lorax.
I was gonna say Lorax has to
Yep.
go up there.
Yeah.
Short might have to
Eric
be up
Short.
there.
Ooh, Eric Short, man, that's crazy. And actually, this is kind of a little bit of inspiration. It's gonna be a curveball. Zach Celius.
Wow,
I like that.
I mean, he
Great
was kind of the
one.
OG at BYU, kind of with the stash. I mean, I'm not an old head, so there might have been older guys, but like he kind of rocked it. He
did.
kind of rocks with it. So shout out him. So I probably in that order. I'm probably going Lorax number
So
one.
you have to go the
Yeah,
Lorax.
he's
That's an
fire.
elite
Just that's you can't compete. Ted last, and then we'll go Zach.
Yeah,
So,
shout out Zach Celius. What a good man. And he's hooping too.
he's still hooping. Yeah.
Still hooping. All right. In closing, bro, we just want you to give a little brief message. We kind of give the stand to our guests to just say whatever they want.
Okay.
You're a very inspirational and hardworking man. So I think whatever you have to say will resonate with someone. So look into that camera and go ahead.
All right. This is actually a concept that I was going to use for a pregame speech last year. Never got to share it, but it's an acronym for the word fight. So fight. The first one, you need to have focus. You need to focus on what's ahead of you, being present, what's happening. The I, you need to be intentional. You need to do things with intentionality, and you need to do them like you've practiced. The G is you have to have grit. You have to be tough, fight through it, dive on the floor, just put your head down and get through it. FIGH is hell-bent. You just have to have a will that's unbreakable, and you got to just, no one's going to stop you. So you got to be hell-bent in achieving your goals and winning. And then the T is together. You got to do it with the people that you're there with, because they're going to support you when you fall short, and you're going to support them when they need you to. So I love it. Fight. If you're going to fight together, you're going to win together. So go fight, win. Go Cougs.
That's the way to end. Trip, thank you so much.
Trip,
We
thanks for
appreciate
hopping
you,
on,
brother.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Life Beyond the Three by the Center Street Media Team.
You guys can tune in on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Music. Catch you next time.
Peace. We're good at that now.